Okay, here we go. Happy Wednesday. While you are watching the replay or catching this at 8 p.m. Eastern, I will be on another training that got rescheduled this week. So I appreciate your understanding when that came in and changed. And I'm hoping to still give you some value, give you something to think about, and help push you towards your next step or encourage you towards your next step to moving forward. And tonight, I want to talk about something that I really got some neat insight from Simon Sinek. If you've, maybe you've watched some of his videos, or maybe I know I have at least one or two audibles of his. It's either the Happiness Project or it's some, I'll have to get his book and put it in the comments in the description then, because I honestly confuse him and Gretchen Rubin's name of their books. But he has some great science. He's always showing how your body can work for you, or how you can understand and get your body to work for you, work with you. And specifically, what I'm going to talk about tonight and give you some tips to do to help you are how to get those chemicals, those good chemicals in our body, or get them to work for the good, get them to work for the better, get them on your side. So we as human beings are animals. We're amazing animals. And because of that, a lot of times you hear about the reticulating factor in our brain, that reptile part in our brain that protects us and has us respond, or the flight mode, or maybe you've seen it from caveman times. People talk about how our bodies are doing things because back in the cave times we needed, to be able to go for days without eating. And then we needed to be able to hunt, and we needed to be able to run away when danger was coming, and that those flight responses, all those chemicals are still in our body and in our brains. And basically our brains have one job, and that is to keep us alive. And so whether the danger is perceived or real or not, a lot of things are happening internally. And I'm hoping to give you some insight to some of that so you can see how you can turn it on and have it help for you. So when we're talking about the chemicals that our body produces, we are talking about, I think the way we look at it is a lot of times either hormones or those natural responses. So you've probably heard of endorphins. You've probably heard of dopamine. You've probably heard of serotonin and oxytocin. And so those are the four chemicals I'm going to hit on. And then I'm going to give you some ways that you can hit on them to go for helping yourself. So first I'll break it down. And again, just using some examples that Simon Sinek had used, and I'm sure lots of others, but what we're thinking of is endorphins. So endorphins are meant to mask physical pain. So you get a rush of endorphins. For example, if you're a runner, any other runners in here? If you're a runner and you finish a run and you have that elated feeling, or you feel amazing. I think it's so funny. My sister will be in an Ironman and she'll be going through it. She'll be like, I'm never doing this again. Why did I do this? And then by the end of the race, she's like, when's our next one? That is the runner's high. That is the athletic high. That's where your body's pushing and it starts to actually fatigue muscles, and you start to feel pain, that it turns on the endorphins to mask the pain so you can keep going. So endorphins are meant to protect you from feeling that pain. Endorphins also get turned on from laughing. And you're like, laughing? What pain am I in from laughing? So when you laugh and you're jolting your body and you're convulsing your core, you're jumbling your organs around. And that is like a perceived pain that your body will kick endorphins in when you're laughing, because it's protecting you from the pain of your organs jumping up and down. Isn't that insane? Our bodies are crazy insane. So endorphins are meant to mask our physical pain. Where can that come into play? So when you're following your workout programs, when you're maybe doing 30-day breakaway and trying a faster perceived effort, or when you're using a heavier weight, or you're holding plank for longer, or you're, trying a more challenging combination of a program, you can actually get to that point where when you're done working out, you're like, oh, that felt great. I want to do that again tomorrow. So your workouts can help your body produce endorphins and can help you get that good feeling. The next chemical that your body creates and releases is dopamine. So dopamine is that rush of positivity or elated feeling that you get when you cross something off a to-do list. Dopamine is what you get when you hit a goal or when you get something done that you've been wanting to get done. The dopamine is that magic feel good that gets us to do something. So, for example, if we take it back to caveman days, we would see an apple on a tree, and seeing the apple, even if we're not hungry, it would make us want to go get it. And then as we get closer to the apple, we would get a dopamine hit as, ooh, I'm going to get that apple. I'm going to get that apple and save it for later. And it would be kind of to train us to go for things, to complete things that we need for later. So dopamine, when you then get the apple, you get the massive dopamine rush, and now you've achieved the goal, you've tackled it down, but it was something very specific that you could see. So the trick with dopamine is that you need to have a written down specific goal. And dopamine comes into play with when you're looking at bonuses or way to reward yourself or ways to get something done. So in order to cross off a list of a to-do list of something that you're trying to work through or do, this is something that you're going to want to go in and say, okay, well, why am I trying to get anything done? You need to know what you're doing and have clarity. Because if I said, I'm going to give you a bonus if you do more, or I'm going to give you a reward if you do more is not defined. Your first question would be, well, how much more? And how much is your more? Because your more is different than my more. And you see, it's not defined. So you're not going to get a dopamine rush off doing more. You get a dopamine rush when you do something specific, when you take mini steps to a goal, and or when you get to a goal. So the way you can make dopamine work for you on this health journey is by printing out, and I'm going to screen share some things for you and show you how to put this into play, but printing out one of the trackers, using the tracker on the Beachbody On Demand app and logging your workouts, logging your shakes, logging your food. Every little thing that you cross off and you do is going to give you a little hit of dopamine. It's going to make you come back for more. Having a wall calendar. I don't know if you can see that I've been, crossing off and writing and noting on my wall calendar to keep track of things that I'm working towards. And that feel good feeling of keeping you going forward. You can take that chemical that your body is going to release anyway and give it something to release towards, something to do. Something like I said, setting the tracker on your phone, printing out one of the trackers to fill in. I have an Excel sheet that you can check off as you're watching the videos, or you can print out a list of the videos and go through them that way. So being able to have something to cross off and do, but having it be specific. This is why they really encourage you to write down your goal. So if you have not written down on your calendar, on your wall, on your space in front of you, if there is nowhere written down what your focus and what your goal is for your health, what energy you want to feel, if you don't have that bikini or that dress or those pants hanging up somewhere that you see it, if you don't see it, it's not going to give your body the opportunity to get that dopamine rush and to get going towards it. So this is why I say, get those things out, put them in front of you, write it down, look at what you want to achieve this month and then proclaim it and put it somewhere that you can see so you can work towards it. So we're going to get our endorphins from working out. We're going to get our dopamine by, checking off our lists and putting something in front of us to have that very specific why, that specific goal, to actually take the time in the front of your tracker books and in the front of the programs. It says, what do you want to achieve? Take the time to fill out the beginning of the 2B mindset tracker. When you get your bundle pack, everyone should have gotten a 3-month 2B mindset tracker. And the first few pages asks you questions about how you want to feel. Or if you print out that page from the Portion Fix programs, you're also going to get, how do you want to feel? What are you working towards? What is your struggle? Where are you? What do you want? And they take you through writing that because your brain needs that. Your body and your brain needs that. So the endorphins and the dopamine are the things that can help us do and get to our goals and we can put them into work for a positive. And then I mentioned our serotonin and our oxytocin, and those are chemicals that are released in a little bit of a different way. And this kind of really comes into play as how our humanness, our animalness is so much different than most of the animal kingdom. We actually are chemically made to be better together. Like when I say lean in and participate and be here with us, there's actually proof that there is scientific proof that people who feel connected to others on the same journey and who feel like they're valued and connected get better results in whatever goal they're working to, whether it's business, whether it's personal, whether it's financial, whether it's physical, whether it's health, whatever it is. The community and the benefits of that doesn't happen to you. It doesn't happen by me sending you a text or me sending you a message. It happens by you being vulnerable and leaning in and sharing the experience. You know, you can't feel like a part of the community if you're not posting or commenting. Maybe you can. I don't want to speak for everybody because we're all different, but the way I'm understanding the science and the way it was explained to me is to get that true community bond feeling, to get the benefits of the serotonin and the oxytocin, there really needs to be that back and forth. There needs to be that engagement. And I'm going to explain to you a little bit right now how those two come into play. So the serotonin and oxytocin really work to manage what the endorphins and the dopamine are helping us survive danger. So the endorphins and the dopamine keep us going when we're in pain and keep rewarding us for doing things that will help us. So they're kind of helping us manage pain, manage the worst case scenario, and stay going forward. And then the serotonin and oxytocin work to manage and keep those going as far as fulfillment, love, trust, in that way. So for example, serotonin, I think like there's a really good explanation I can give you with that is serotonin is they call it the leadership chemical. Some people call it the leadership chemical. And it kicks off when you feel that pride, when you feel maybe like a status or a public recognition. So a really great example, because I'm thinking of Kathy and Taisha just graduated, just graduated in fall, and just thinking about a commencement. So you think about when someone graduates college, right? They could just get an email and say, print out your diploma, right? I mean, you graduated and you print out, you did what you had to do so you can go. But they do commencements and people give thank you speeches and they give addresses and talk and share, and people have parties around it. And think about when you go to your commencement, or if you've ever been to a commencement for someone who's graduated or done an achievement or gives a speech like that, what usually happens? They're getting recognized for the work that they put in to get their degree. And yet they're the ones who did the studying, they're the ones who did the work, and then they're up there and their thank you speech is, I want to thank my family and my friends who I couldn't have done this without, and it's kind of like the Oscars are another example too of this serotonin release is, I couldn't have done this without you. And it really is that community feel of, you really do feel like you needed your family to help around the house. You needed the grace and the time. You needed the encouragement and the support and all that came with it to get to your degree, right? To show up for your degree on top of work and life and everything else. And always correct me if I say anything you think is wrong. I'm open to a conversation about it, but you need that feeling, right? And so you're up there with your award, thanking everybody else. And what happens if you've ever been the sibling or the friend or the parent or the coach or the mentor or the teacher in the audience when you see someone up there getting their graduation? You feel pride yourself. Like I remember seeing when my sister graduated, when she went to school to be an EMT and then a paramedic. And I remember going to that that dinner that they had her and her classmates up, and they gave them their certificates for graduating. And I remember seeing her smiling so big for what she accomplished. And I remember how I felt so proud of what she did, and just so proud. I felt the same way at my nephew's high school graduation, sitting there watching him walk across stage and get his diploma as if I did it. Like, I'm tearing up just thinking about how proud and grateful and inspired and a part of it. And in reality, I had the teeny tiniest part, if anything, in my sister or my nephew's graduations. I mean, I did, I helped in some ways. My sister was a single mom when she was in school to be an EMT and a paramedic. And I, babysat Sean a few times. And over the years, I had some connections and support with my nephew and his schooling, but he did it. They went to the school, they did the work, but we both, as a community, got that serotonin boost. We got that pride and that confidence buildup. And that's the other thing. It's a confidence buildup. And I think that's one of the cool little magics. I think serotonin is like the magic little chemical that comes out of coaching, because I get so inspired and fired up when I get a message from you. When Valerie told me I'm down 21 pounds, I felt like I lost the 21 pounds. Like, I felt amazing. And I didn't do anything. She did the meal prep. She ate the food. She drank the water. She stopped snacking at night. She started doing the workouts, like I didn't actually do it, but it feels good. It feels like I'm part of it, because the serotonin boost is that community boost. So how can you get that serotonin, that pride and that confidence in yourself, and get that extra confidence boost in community? Right here is the perfect opportunity. So you can get that completion pride, that completion serotonin. You can get that from yourself when you complete a workout program. Take on, if you need a quick hit of serotonin to feel like you can finish something and feel like you can do something, take on one of the 1 week programs. Sean Week always gets me. It's a little bit of a challenge, but it always gets my heart like reinvigorated and going, like, I got this, or take on one of the 3 week programs and give yourself that gift to finish, and then fill in the Beachbody championship, not championship, the Beachbody, completion, the completion sheet, so that you can give yourself that reward and that celebration. That's why I say post in the group. Let us know when you finish a program. Let us know when your free tank top comes in after you fill in the completion for completing a program. Let us know those things and share in the group, because you're a little selfishly giving us serotonin too. So when you post in the group and you're celebrating your achievement, you're getting serotonin by celebrating yourself. We're getting serotonin by celebrating you. And as a community, we go stronger and we achieve more for ourselves and others. Like, tell me that's not amazing. That's amazing chemical science, like, working for us to help us do what? Want to feel that again. Well, how do you feel it again? You do another program. You do another thing that you celebrate. You get another bod badge that you show in the group. You get another, you get someone else to do this with you, and you say, let's do this together, and high five each other and get this program done together. And then you see them get results, and that feels amazing to them. And then it comes back and feels amazing to you, because you got to be a part of them feeling amazing. Serotonin, the secret underlying chemical power in your body that is community and coaching all wrapped up into one. The reason to just share this, share any of my posts or any of Michelle's or anybody's posts and just say, hey, you want to do this with me? Because we could both get a hit of serotonin together. But in reality, that's the truth. But you're also going to be feeling good, gaining confidence, getting results, getting healthier, and making progress yourself. Like, it is a crazy win-win. The fourth chemical that I'm going to talk about before I get lost on serotonin, because that's just a magic, wonderful one, is the oxytocin. The oxytocin is that chemical that releases the feeling of love, the feeling of trust, the feeling of friendship. Oxytocin is what's released in abundance when someone gives birth and they have that bonding with the baby. Oxytocin is the chemical that gets released when you're like hanging out with your friends and just can be yourself and just smiling because it's comfortable. You know, the oxytocin's that warm fuzzies. You know, it's where you don't have to do anything. You can just be watching TV, walking in the park, sitting in the park, walking the dog. You don't have to do much and you just feel good. It's just that human bonding. It's also like high fives, hugs. As long as the person wants hugs. I know not everybody likes hugs. Give me all the hugs. I'll take all the hugs. I'll take all the high fives and all the hugs. Although if we're running, I tend to miss the high five or the knuckle bump. I have to practice that, is what I was told at the last race. So I have some kind of connection issue. I don't know what it is, but that is right there. That is the feeling of love and trust. And oxytocin can be released by, again, leaning into the community here, building the friendship, being willing to share. Let us encourage you, let us help you, let us support you, and then you support us, and we get to build that trust and build that relationship. So I feel like that it's really kind of magic that our body has these chemicals that can be released. And they do get released for things that are negative. It's part of why hitting next on Netflix and being able to finish a whole series in a weekend is addicting, that click feeling, you know, getting someone, you know, getting a ding on your text and not being able to get off the exit and get home before you answer the text. And, you know, the text could be about a dinner 2 weeks from now, but you still feel the urge that you have to reply instantly. Like there are some negative things with gambling or alcohol or nicotine that can come into these, you know, chemicals addictions. I get that. And there's definitely some places that we could guide to help or go for. However, there's also some really great ways that we can get creative and use these chemicals to help us. So what I want to show you a couple of those things that I was talking about. And I'm going to share my screen here. I lost you. Okay, here you are. Share my screen. Okay, so we can come on to Beachbody On Demand, come on to your programs, and coming into your programs, and this is where you can find something I was talking about, that there's 1 week programs. I'm gonna just pop to Sean Week and show you that really quick, because that's one of my favorites. If I need that quick hit of finishing something, of completing something, Sean Week is my personal go-to. I'd love to hear if you have a go-to. Come on, Sean, where are you? He's all the way down at the bottom in the S's. Isn't it awesome to have all these options? Okay, so here is Sean Week. And it is very simply just that 7-day program. You can also print out the workout calendar. That's going to give you that. I printed it off. I check it off. It's going to give you that chemical reward. Another thing coming into your tracking, using either the on-demand app or using you can use the app where you can log it here in your settings and tracking your workouts, your shakes. I personally write my meals and things, and my water, I don't track it online or on the app, but I know some people really love the app. And then coming into the nutrition, being able to take the time and go through the videos. You can, go through both Portion Fix and To Be Mindset. You can, I mentioned that you can use like an Excel sheet. You can copy this Excel sheet and just give yourself that that chemical reward by checking off a box as you watch the videos, encouraging you to watch it through as many times as you can. I still hear new things that I didn't hear before. And that's because every day, every level, every week is a different level of ourselves. And then in our group itself, like I said, besides sending in, being able to post so we can celebrate you and cheer you on, also want you to come in here. You can click on more, go down to media. And when you come into the media, in the photo albums, I see bod badges. I'm so excited to go cheer them on because I'm going to get a dope of serotonin. They're going to get a dope of serotonin, and we're all going to keep getting dope, getting it. So in the photo albums, there's a when in doubt, track it out album. So these are some of the things that you can print off, whether you're looking to track a habit, whether you're looking to just color in the days and see. There's some examples here. You can give yourself a 100-day challenge. If you have a specific pound that you're looking to evict, you can print that off and color it in as you go and put it somewhere in front of you. Put that somewhere in front of you so that you see it. And so I just want to encourage you to use, and I can't wait to hear how you're going to use these chemicals. Remember, the endorphins are that chemical push you're going to get from working out and challenging your body. It's going to be that runner's high. And the dopamine is what you're going to get when you cross those things off. You know, it's why we track, why we cross things off, why we have the tracker on the app. Oh, I should have also brought up the Beachbody challenge. Challenge. So I'll show you this really quick since I had mentioned that. So the Beachbody Challenge, you can just Google Beachbody Challenge 2022. And all you do is when you complete your program, you come here and you enter the contest. You get one free shirt a year. So one free tank top or shirt a year, one a year for free. You don't pay shipping or anything. And then every 3 months, we come out with a new program. If you buy the early access to the new program, that's another free shirt for you when you complete that program. So if you're getting involved in the early access and you bought job one, you're going to get a shirt for finishing job one. And then say you do 10 rounds. When you finish 10 rounds, you're going to get a shirt for 2022. If you buy Gut Protocol next week, you're going to get the completion shirt when you finish that and submit. So you get at least one shirt a year, but if you're purchasing the new programs as they come out, you have the opportunity to submit again. And you can submit every month to enter the contest because there are drawings and prizes for cash rewards. The one time I won a pull-up bar that just showed up at the house because I won that drawing. So there's a lot of different other options. You can enter that contest every single month or every single program, and maybe get yourself some cash and get some, incentives back to yourself. So we're going to do the endorphins by moving our bodies. We're going to get dopamine by checking off the list and working towards goals that are written down or specific. We don't want to say, I just want to lose weight. We want to say, my body feels great, evicting 40 pounds. 2 pounds at a time, whatever it is specific that you're working for. And then we're going to get that community serotonin going by high-fiving each other, cheering each other on, shouting ourselves out in the group, engaging in the group, getting, inviting others to come on this journey with us. People are out there going to the gym, out there working out there trying to change their eating habits anyway. Why not have them do it with us, especially if they're your family or friends, right? And then get the oxytocin by building those meaningful relationships, which are upcoming things happening. I am so excited about June 4th, our mud run. Michelle's working on getting us a house so that there'll be an opportunity to have a space to have an overnighter. We've also been trying to put together like a camping night, Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern and 7 a.m. Eastern. You can, join our online workout accountability community and show up with us. We have a great group of consistent women that we show up and, give each other some love in the morning and get it done. And then Saturdays at 8 a.m. Eastern, if you're local to Lehigh Valley, 8 a.m. Eastern, we meet at the IRT in Copley. You can message me or text me for more details. Tamiko brought out her pup and she went walking with us on Saturday. And then we're all at different paces and distances. So we just look out for each other and make sure we like corral back together at the end and like just make sure nobody's left behind. So we always have everybody leaving the park when they leave. We know they left, even if they're finishing before us. And if they're finishing after us, myself and Diana stay behind and make sure that nobody's, alone and everybody gets back to their cars. And then Sunday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we have the 20-minute, boot camp check-in where different leaders share. And then the last thing that I have for you before, I can't wait to hear what you're going to shout out and your specific goals and how you're going to put these chemicals to work. Maybe you're going to even go stalk and get Simon Sinek's book or several. He has several books. But the last thing is just reiterating about the gut protocol that is launching on Tuesday. There's going to be several different options. Michelle and I are going to be sharing different options. You can buy just the streaming version. You do have to have Beachbody on demand to buy the gut protocol streaming version. If you don't have Beachbody on demand, we'll get you set up with one of the challenge bundles that will be on sale, including gut protocol. And there'll be 4 different package options depending on what you want and what you want to achieve. I'm personally super excited, and I'm so excited to go back through the I Spy, because that I Spy game was a picture of groceries that someone who their family is in the test group for the gut protocol. So they have already gone through the gut protocol and had some amazing results. And they posted a week of their family groceries. So I'm pretty excited because a lot of those foods are foods that I either already have in the pantry or I'm familiar with. So it doesn't seem like anything like crazy out there. But I think we're going to learn a different way on how to consume and enjoy it and help our bodies flush out our guts, get to our healthiest, and just keep getting better. So I am excited. I would love to know which one of these chemicals you learned something new about. Maybe if you learned something new from this meeting video, or let me know if there's something you have a question about or something you found out, or how are we going to get involved? How can we make these endorphins work for us to get the goals that we want? Because everybody here is here because they wanted to get healthier in some way. Whether it's getting stronger, longevity, mobility, or health, whatever it is, there's some reason you're here, that you are on a health journey and you've committed to purchase at least something to use. And how can we use these chemicals to our benefit to get our best results? So I can't wait to hear your ideas and see your takeaways. And I will see you tomorrow. Good night.